Hello, welcome to Sweat Level Midnight. This is going to be a new series for me where I review a week's worth of Crucible offenses, defenses, and show you some key matches, some stupid losses, some good wins. Let's see how this goes. I'm not committing to making this a weekly thing, but that would be nice. I will try to do that and let's see how it goes. And first off, we're going to start by looking at my current defense. This is what I'm going to roll into next week with, and I used it on day three. For most of the week, it was the same. I have Infinity Watch on room one. It often gets me wins. I have a Young Avengers Silver Surfer on room two. Room three is one of my big rooms. This is a tough one for them to beat. I have Miles as Fortifier, giving stealth to Weaver and Ultron, which I think messes up people going in. I have Rebirth with Captain Marvel here. This is new. I only put this in uh, between Trial 2 and 3. Before that, I had an Axeman Phoenix hybrid. Then I have Weapon X and Final Room. Nobody has been able to clear this so far. This is Darkhold, and I have Wakanda on offense. I realized they're not getting any wins for me, so I might as well bring them to offense. So we're gonna start with looking at trial one. Unfortunately, I don't have any of these recorded. Let's start with defenses. They used Darkhold on my Infinity Watch, which I think is a little wasteful. Room 2, Young Avengers, sort of, what's to be expected. Room 3, they struggled a lot. They lost Infinity Watch, Secret Avengers, Omega Red, and then finally went in Gamma Dorm. I think if they went in with Gamma Dorm from the beginning, they might have been able to take it and not lose all those characters, but I'm not sure. Room 4, this is that Axeman Phoenix hybrid. They just went in with Death Seed. Nothing, wild. Room 5, I have Weapon X, which they went in with New Warriors and Eternals. This is a standard attacking team, so that's good. Room 6, they didn't attack at all. In fact, none of my opponents were able to clear my Dorkhold team, as you're gonna see. Moving on to attack, this is a War Dogs standard defense in room 6. I saw this Eternals comp recommended in my Alliance chat, so I tried to use it and it worked really well. And I don't have a recording of it from this day, but I'll show you on trial 2 and 3 how this played out. And I think I'm going to be using this going forward since I don't have Darkhold at my disposal anymore. Room 5, I go into Tangled comps with Unlimited. Generally, I don't want to deal with it. And then Room 4, Unlimited, I went in with My Gamma. Since I have Dormammu on defense, I go in with Pure Gamma. And it often works, sometimes it doesn't, and you're gonna see. Uh, this was a Rebirth team. I did not like this. It was very inefficient, as you can see. Uh, it was not a fun fight. It dragged on, so I don't think I'll use this anymore. And I thought the Nico flips on the deflex would help, but it didn't. Stage 2, this is a Hero Asgard team. I just went in with my War Dogs. It was nothing special, but a solid win. And then finally, this is Young Avengers. I went in with Death Seed. I don't recommend this. As you can see, it was inefficient and it can easily go wrong. And we're going to have a recording of it going wrong on trial 3. So you can see that this is just not something to be done. I wouldn't recommend it. Moving on to trial 2. Let's look at let's look at how the defense performed. Infinity Watch, they mirrored it. That's fine. Pretty standard. And then in room 2, Young Avengers, they went in with New Warriors and Eternals. Again, a standard attacking team. That's fine. This is my Tangled Ultron with Miles. They combat canceled, and then they sacked with Bionic Avengers, and then they used a similar comp to finally beat it. Um, it was exciting to see so many wins on this team without Dormammu. Uh, Moving on to stage four, in my opinion, they kind of wasted their unlimited on this Axeman defense. Maybe they just didn't have anywhere to use it, so it's okay. Room 5, it's a Weapon X mirror, uh, predictable. Room 6, they couldn't clear it. They tried with Gamma, they backed out. They tried to mirror with Darkhold. Don't mirror any Darkhold comps this season because Darkhold is disadvantaged on offense. And then they went back in with Gamma and were in total able to take out my Dormammu and my Heartless. I think this was a solid win for this room overall. And then let's move on to what I did on attack. This is Rebirth. This was a much better comp in my opinion. The season rules really help Undying this season. I'm enjoying using them on offense, and with the Star Lord Doom combo, they were able to take out this team, and it was a nice win. Room 2, I used Gamma. It was overkill, but at this point, I didn't have anywhere else to use Gamma, so it worked out well for me. On to stage 3. This is where I first tried to use Gamma, but I had to combat cancel, and then I went in with Unlimited, which I didn't have any other place to use them. And let's look at this Gamma fight over here. My logic was that because Magneto pulls them together, Red Hulk's gonna get charged a lot faster and win the battle for me. What happened was they killed him. So it didn't play out the way I wanted. I was actually a little surprised that Gamma couldn't beat Death Seed. So, and I'm sure that there's ways that this can be, but it was still surprising for me. Once Red Hulk dies, I probably should have already quit out, but you know, hubris. Then I just decided to go in with unlimited, which I think at this point I didn't have any other use for, so it was a fine win. Uh, then moving into room 4, they had X Factor, so I just went in with my Wakanda, and it was fine. Room 5, Death Seed into full Underworld. This was also a fine battle. This is that comp that I showed you in Trial 1, and I want to play you the recording as well. It was actually a nice, fun battle, and it was something I would not have expected to work. But because Icarus flips, if you can survive until that flip, it plays well after that. On day 3, we're gonna have a recording of this where it doesn't work, and um, I think it's because they kill Kestrel before Icarus flips, and that's what decides it. Yeah, so this was a solid win, a much appreciated win, and I'm glad I have a counter for this now that I have Darkhold on defense. This is trial 3. My shame trial. This was not good. But first, let's look at the defense. They cleared my Infinity Watch with an Eternals comp. This was I thought was nice, and they used Ultron in there too. This is not a team. Room 3, into my Tangled comp, they sacked with Hero Asgard, and then they were able to clear with Infinity Watch. This was very nice, in my opinion. Room 4, this is where I placed Rebirth on day 3. They went in with Secret Avengers, and it was a fine win for them. It looks like it was very efficient. Stage 5, they mirrored Weapon X, and this was nice. Stage 6, they went in with Red Hold, uh, killed Dormammu. They came in with the second team, which I wasn't sure if it was a misclick. They combat canceled. They came back in with Undying plus New Warriors, and then they were able to take out Wong only. I think I'm gonna keep this room on defense. It's been a bastion. I'm liking it. Nobody's been able to clear it yet, so this is gonna stay. And because I found that Eternals comp to beat Wakanda, I don't need Darkhold on offense that much anymore. Let's look into uh, offense, and here's that comp. There was one attempt where it failed, and then I went back in with just swapped placement, and it worked out well. Taking a look at this, here, as you're gonna see, the reason it doesn't work is they killed Kestrel before Icarus went, so it reduced my damage output severely, and they just weren't able to come back from this. I figured I'd give it another shot with Kestrel to the side, and that way she might survive. And this time it worked out well, even though they did attack her a lot, and I was getting nervous that they might take her out. I think going forward, I might use Echo as a fortifier to keep her protected a little bit more. Um, I don't know. This comp is able to beat, but it, as you can see, it has its pitfalls. It has things where it can go wrong, and here we're gonna get stuck in this sustain loop for a little bit. So here I cut off basically almost 3 minutes of footage, where I wasn't actually sure they would win or if it was just gonna time out, but thankfully, just in the nick of time, I was able to clear it. But even if it had timed out, I think it would have been a simple cleanup after that. Moving on to room 5, this is basically what lost me the whole match. Um, it's a Tangled Dormammu comp. I went in with Gamma initially, thinking, he'll rewind, he'll clear revive onces, but it just didn't go to plan, and Gamma basically got wiped. And even though here I get the battlefield effect off, it was too little too late. I had lost steam and they were still pretty powerful, and it was impossible to um, do anything to them. Maybe I should have kept it as a sack, but I didn't want to have I didn't want to have wasted Gamma. So I came back in with Unlimited, who are my um, well, they're who I use to counter Tangle teams mainly. It might have been a good idea to bring Zemo in because I did get stuck behind that Red Guardian for far too long, and I think that curbed my progress, and it just was a bad fight overall. I don't think I was showing my best. Once Dormammu ulted, it was time to quit. And then the second I quit out, I remembered the whole Minerva plus 4 minion sack method. And if I had done that, I could have cleaned it up with unlimited or gamma, I think, and actually full cleared my opponent. This War Dog fight at the end was just after I had done all the rooms. I tried to see if I could maybe take out Red Guardian and get some victory points. Maybe that would affect the final outcome, but that was a waste anyway. Moving on to stage 4, they had their unlimited. I started with Gamma, which is my usual counter, but this was too far a punch up, and it just didn't work out. So I went back in with a Bionic Avenger sack, and then after that cleaned up with Gamma. I've never actually tried this matchup with Dormammu. I see that that's how most people look at it. Um, my Dormammu's on defense, so I've always tried it with pure Gamma. I think this might have been the first time that I lost, but it's also the first time I think that I was punching up this high. Um, Also, the changes that have been made to Red Hulk, I think, made this matchup a lot harder. Beforehand, he would waste the evade on the opponent with his barrier clear, and then he would get the charge removal on his actual physical attack. But now the charge removal is coupled with the barrier clear, so the evade eats that up, and the revive one stays on the character. With Bionic Avengers, the goal is to just get as many abilities as possible, at least through Rogue Ult, but hopefully Sunfire Special as well. They're a somewhat resilient team, and I got most of what I wanted out of them. And now back with Gamma to clear them out. It was sad that I had to sack this. This is usually um, a win for me. And as you can see on day one, I just went in standard Gamma without a sack and was able to defeat them. Unfortunately, I don't have a recording from day one of this week. Once I was down to 3 out of 5, I was getting nervous. But after Red Hulk sets up the uh, battlefield effect, it's kind of really surprising how he can just melt through an opponent team. So this was really nice. And he basically soloed uh, the end of the matchup. So that was stage 4. Moving into stage 3, they had Young Avengers. This was kind of sad. I went in with Death Seed like I had done before, but it was a punch up and it didn't work well for me. After that, I went in with this Undying Doom comp. That was a much better fight, and I'll show you guys both. I wanted to include this Death Seed fight just so you see how it can go badly. And here's that second fight. I figured I would go in with Zemo, ability block, Squirrel Girl, and then Zombie Tony would ability block her for her second turn, and then Hela could spread. The way the global rules apply this season, Zombie Tony goes before Hela, and Hela can spread the ability block, which is pretty nice. And in fact, because they killed the Gregs, uh, she was ability blocked when Zombie Tony went anyway. There's gonna be some downtime where it's just back and forth pinging at each other. But what's nice is the Doombots and the Gregs don't count against your efficiency. So even though they keep attacking and they keep getting hit by Echo, it's actually a bonus for me. It's just a time sink, basically. And that was what happened in stage three. Moving on to stage two, they had Rebirth. I tried to go in with War Dogs. They just couldn't punch up into them. This team is very resilient, so my War Dogs just couldn't keep up, and I went in with Death Seed, who was able to overpower them. And then in stage one, they had their Death Seed, and by this point, I didn't have a use for unlimited. All the shenanigans in room 4 and 5 were already done, so I just threw my unlimited at this. Unfortunately, I wish I could have cleared that Tangle team with them, and I would have figured something out for this Death Seed and gotten the W. So on the overall, on the first two trials, my opponents just couldn't clear my room 6, but I was able to full clear their whole defense, so I got those 2 wins. On day 3, I messed up that stage 5, but neither of us could full clear, and my opponent won due to their better efficiency. Going forward into next week, I think I'm gonna keep this Rebirth team on room for at least for one more trial. I might put in Maria there instead of Captain Marvel on day 2. I'll make changes as I go, but for now, I think this is working for me. Uh, this room 3 and room 6 are causing enough of a struggle for my opponents that I think not having unlimited on defense and getting to use them on offense is working out for me. So let me know if you have any comments, suggestions, things you thought I could have done better. I would appreciate it. Thank you.